Hello friends, I am Dr. Prashant Parathe. I am an orthopedic surgeon and a share market enthusiast. I am not SEBI registered analyst or advisor. Please go through this disclaimer. Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss about position sizing. It is very important aspect of trading as well as investment. Many people ask how to decide quantity of shares which we can buy, and there are multiple factors which decide quantity. First of all, account size of a person, then purpose of buying, what are the stop loss targets, method used for managing the trade, whether it is upscaling or downscaling. These are some important factors which decide how much quantity should be bought. Every person cannot have same account size. Some people have smaller account, some people have larger account. For example, one may have account of 1 lakh, another person may have 10 lakh worth account, third person may have portfolio size worth 1 crore. So we cannot tell them to buy shares worth 10,000 or buy X number of quantity and tell this same thing to all. As account size varies, number of quantity of shares which can be bought also varies, because smaller account size person cannot match buying of larger account size person. So account size will definitely affect what is the number of quantity which person can afford and buy. Next is purpose of buying, whether it is buying for investment purpose or for trading purpose. So if somebody is buying for investment purpose, there will be multiple levels at which a person will be buying, and quantity will depend upon current position of that person with that stock. If someone is already holding 10% worth of stocks in his portfolio, then he may not buy more than 1% or so. If the stock is not in holding and investor thinks that this is a stock which I must own and this is very cheap price at which I should buy, then that investor may buy 50% or more quantity at one time. But if he is already having stock in his portfolio, then he may buy as per his risk management, as per his portfolio size, as per his quantity already present in his account. And for trading purpose, trading is totally different ball game, and trader can buy any number of quantity which will depend on what is the actual stop loss and target, what is the purpose, is it swing trade or short term trade or intraday trade or scalping. An investor usually does not prefer to invest all his money in single stock, whereas a trader can invest his full capital in single stock or single trade because he has risk management and stop loss in place. So that brings us to our next factor which affects quantity, which is entry, stop loss and target. How will entry price, stop loss price and target affect what quantity we can buy? I'll show this with example on chart. This is chart of PEL, Piramal Enterprises. I had made a video about accumulation in PEL made around 21st May. I had analyzed it and found that it is a good stock to invest for trading purpose, and I had said in the video that it looks bullish and it should go up. So I was looking for buying opportunities, and I had posted in groups that on 25th May I have bought this stock at 1692 with stop loss of 1670. So that was 22 rupees stop loss. So if we check 1692 to 1670, it was 1.3%. My entry was decided, my stop loss was decided, and I had calculated that my stop loss is 22 rupees, that is 1.3%. So with this information, how can we calculate position size? It is very simple. For example, if suppose I want to risk 1% of my capital in this trade and my capital is 1 lakh rupee, so I use this tool. So I use this tool and I enter For example, suppose my capital is 1 lakh rupee and I want to risk 1% of my capital in this trade. My entry price is 1692 and stop loss price is 1670. Targets were up to 2000. I booked at 2031. So here we can see with my account size of 1 lakh rupee, I can buy 45 quantity and my stop loss was 22 rupees. So with 1% loss I will be losing 1000 rupee. So if this trade goes in loss, my amount at end of trade will be 99,000 rupees. With this I can see that it has given me risk to reward ratio of 15.41. Now if my stop loss is not this at 22 rupees and my stop loss is below this level, then quantity which I want to buy will change. So if I want to keep my stop loss below 1615 rupees, it will change the equation. With same account size, now I will be able to buy only 12 quantity if I want to risk only 1% of my portfolio worth. Risk to reward will be still favorable, which is 4.4 reward for 1 point of risk. So if I risked 1% in this trade, I would have got 4.4% reward. Next factor which will decide quantity is risk to be taken. Here I had taken a risk of 1%. If I want to increase it and make it 2% risk, then here I can buy quantity which is 25 with stop loss of 77 rupees from buying of 1692, and still risk reward is same, but I am willing to lose 2% of my capital and I gained 8.8% on my capital because I doubled my risk and reward came, and reward also doubled because risk doubled. If I want to risk only 1.5% on this trade, so with changing risk, quantity of shares to be bought also changes, and changing stop loss level also changes quantity. So this is larger stop loss. If I keep my original stop loss, there will be change in this quantity. Right now with 1.5% risk and lower stop loss, I will be able to buy 19 stocks. But if I shift my stop loss to original stop loss which I had used, that is 1670, then it was possible to buy 68 shares for me with 1.5% risk. So if we have larger risk appetite, we can buy more quantity. If we have smaller risk appetite, we should buy smaller quantity. If we have larger stop loss, then our position size should be smaller. If our stop loss is smaller, then our position size should be larger. And there is one more thing which is very advanced method. If we know the probability of win, for example, we have two setups out of which one has winning chances of 90% and other setup which has winning chances of 50%. So if I risk 1% on a setup where I have 50% of winning chances, I will use 2% or 2.5% risk for the setup which will give me 90% chances of winning. This is very advanced concept and it may be difficult to understand. I will not elaborate it much. After clarification about entry and stop loss, we will shift to next target, which will decide about target. What is our method for managing the trade, whether it is upscaling or downscaling? What is upscaling and what is downscaling? There are two methods with which we can carry our trade. Upscaling means we add up to the position Means, for example, we have bought 10 shares at one level and price moves in our favor, then we buy 5 share more, then price moves again in our favor, so we buy additional 5 shares. In this way we have 20 shares now, so we can keep adding till the time we feel that it is our time to book profits. So this method is called as upscaling. Another method is downscaling. Downscaling is a method where initial position size is maintained as per maximum risk, and for example I buy 100 shares at my pre-decided level, and then as stock moves in our favor and there are multiple targets, target 1, 2, 3, 4. So if stock moves at a first target, I book 1/3 or half quantity which is pre-decided. After booking profits at this level, my trade becomes risk free, because even after hitting stop loss there are low chances that my position will turn into losses. As prices move in our favor and next targets are achieved, position is downscaled and some more shares are exited. So this way we keep on booking profits as the trade moves in our favor. There are pros and cons of both methods. In upscaling, our profits keep increasing and risk is small initially, whereas in downscaling our risk is maximum at the start, and as we progress with our trade and trade runs in our favor, risk becomes minimum and profits may decrease because we have reduced our quantity already. Which method one should choose depends totally on what is the kind of trade he is willing to have and what is risk management strategy of that person. Both these styles are used and both of them are equally good. I will not recommend any one method. People have to find their own method, whether they like upscaling more or downscaling more. It can be done with trial and errors. Downscaling is easier to manage and upscaling is little difficult but more rewarding in my personal view. Thank you for your patience. I hope this was useful information. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.